Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Me
Who wants to go
personally,
first?
I use it all the time. Yeah, I
AI?
mainly use ChatGPT. I use it like mainly I'm doing a lot of coding right now, and it's just incredibly useful. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not the best coder, but I'm pretty decent. It's just some of the stuff it can come up with. It's just like I could spend 45 minutes on something or have ChatGPT O3 or one of the thinking models do it in about 30
Yeah.
seconds. So I'm just not really sure what that looks like in the long term of like displacement of job, but I just think it's incredible. It's
Yeah.
incredibly useful.
And like, do you find that more often than not it's pretty bug free, or do you find that you sort of have to like hold its hand a little bit? Like, what's your experience with that?
I mean, at this point, like with the thinking models, if it really knows what I'm trying to do and it understands the language, it really it's pretty solid. I mean, it definitely gets things wrong less than I do at that point. Where I think it struggles is
Right.
when you have really large contexts. So if when you have a massive project, you're saying here's all the files and here's this, and it's working with a bunch of just a, a bunch of different inputs and outputs of stuff that it doesn't completely understand, then it can make mistakes,
Right.
and sometimes it'll
Mm.
sometimes it'll make a mistake and really commit to it. It's really has a hard time changing it. But if you're especially if you're
Hmm.
starting a fresh one and it's very specific logic over specific values, it's just incredible. It almost never gets that wrong anymore. I've noticed. But
Do you ever
do you guys code with it?
abandon sometimes, but do you ever like abandon a chat and then try and make a new one because it's just gotten stuck in a loop
Yes.
of say like it doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't get rid of this
Yeah.
one thing. You're like, I don't
Yes.
want that.
It just it'll
Why
like
do you think it does
commits.
that? Yeah.
It is weird.
Mhm.
I mean, that probably goes into like the attention transformer architecture of these models deeper than we really understand how they work.
Probably. Yeah.
It it has to do with like the context window and like after a certain amount of time it can sort of, I guess, you know I'd
Yeah.
imagine, like, think of it like a buffer. You can only hold so much information, and like after a certain point it's probably better to start fresh and just like give it brand new context, only the context that you like want it to know, if it's
Mhm.
sort of like gone down the wrong path and like committed to that.
Yeah.
Liam, what tool do you use? Like, does it integrate with your with your IDE? Like, how does that work?
So I haven't really explored Codex much, which is their platform for being able to do that, mainly because I think it uses a model that's not as sophisticated as O3 and O3 Pro. I'm working on this crypto project right now, this coding project, and I got ChatGPT Pro for a month, and that has been huge. So I mainly just I have these chats.
Yeah.
I just usually will load in at the beginning tons of different functions and tons of data about what specifically I'm doing, and then work on a specific section and kind of go back and forth between O3 and O3 Pro. But yeah, I mean O3 Pro especially is really pretty solid. They're just a lot of times they'll just take like 10 minutes to think, so it becomes slower to use the best model a lot of the times than just using O3. But yeah, I mainly
But
just use
like
those.
in in terms of in terms of like how you actually get it your context, I mean, you're not like copy and pasting your code into it, right? Like
No, I'm sometimes copying and
ha-
pasting hundreds of lines of code in just that it can get this
really?
one specific section.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Wait,
if
what do
only you
you?
had a Mac. Right now, the ChatGPT Mac app can now integrate with other apps. So
That's
when I
fun.
have
That's
VS Code
nice.
open, it'll automatically be able to, like, you have to obviously approve it for security reasons, but then it can automatically read whatever my VS Code has open, and it can
Mhm.
also edit it. So you can say fix this thing, and then you can just say auto apply when it's done. So it thinks, and then when it's done, it shows you like the like the version control of like what it's changing and what it's keeping, and then you just hit apply.
Mhm.
It changes it.
Wow.
The one limitation is that right now it can only look at one file,
Hmm.
like whatever file you have open. But I
So
mean,
if you're
like,
pulling something from another file, it can't go and look at that and then
yeah, but I mean, there are other programs. Like, I know that I know that like there's like a Copilot extension for VS Code that can look at all the files you have in a repository. I know that there's AI built code editors like Cursor that are just like
Mhm.
designed for that from the beginning. So that's like we're already there at this point.
Yeah, damn.
So I'm
Well,
I'm
one thing
surprised that you're still copying and pasting.
well, another thing is I got burned a little bit. Like I was using Canvas for a little bit. Canvas's built-in coding thing, and it'll just
Mm.
change stuff sometimes. Like if you have a 300 line file in Canvas and you want to change a line halfway through, it has to go through because it has to go through every time. And I'm not sure what your VS Code experience is, but in Canvas it has to go through the whole thing up until that point, and it'll just change things along the way. It'll end up just slightly tweaking things,
Yeah.
or it'll say this section was what it was before, but my reference of what it was before
Okay.
is that canvas, so it like breaks the code that way. It'll just do
I
stupid stuff,
gotcha.
but
Yeah, for this you can highlight specific lines that you
that's
want to
nice.
focus on, but then it still can read the whole context. So like for example, um like let's say I'm writing code for like my tennis ball machine and I had a very simple thing. I just wanted to like switch an if else statement to like reverse the logic, like something like that I could do very easily, but that would easily take me like 3 minutes instead of 10 seconds. So
Hmm.
stuff like that, it's like I just highlight that section, I say flip this around, I don't have to think about it, it just does it in a few seconds, auto applies. Like stuff like that
It's
seems
huge. It's
like,
awesome.
yeah,